Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matt Erickson here. Just want to do it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matt Erickson here. Today, I want to do something a little different. Today, we've got 5 different riffs that changed my life over the course of these years. These are some songs that have changed my life in a profound way, and I'll go into a little bit on each one, but these are the top 5 songs that changed my life. Now, these are in no particular order. These are just personally which ones, when I first thought of them, came to mind. A lot of them were in standard. Actually, 4 out of 5 of them are in standard, and it's incredible that they still mean so much to me today. So the first riff that changed my life was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, which I'm sure a lot of people, it was their first song that they ever learned on guitar. It was the first riff I ever learned. I had so much fun doing it. That intro riff is just badass. And that was when I was actually grounded from everything because of some issues, let's say, that I arose in 7th grade. Oops. Crazy Train was the first song I learned on my dad's knockoff Ovation guitar, and I just had so much fun. I was so proud. I picked it up and went straight to him, and I'm like, look what I can do, and then I did this. The second song involves a band you all know that I love very much. It was actually Afterlife by Avenged, Sevenfold, which I just did a cover for about a couple weeks ago. It was a lot of fun to do that cover, but I had to include it on this one. I could have done like Unholy Confessions. I could have done Critical Acclaim or Beast and the Harlot. For anything from Avenged really would have changed my life. Afterlife was that one that really grabbed me at first, that my friend Mandy showed me, and I was blown away by this music that I have never heard before. You know, my dad had tried to get me into Led Zeppelin, Beatles, and everything, and I wouldn't listen to it for some reason or another. And then one of my friends just comes out of nowhere and says, hey, listen to Avenged Sevenfold. I'm like, okay. And I did. It was at least the first song that stuck out to me from Avenged Sevenfold. That was the moment I knew that I wanted to be a musician, was when I heard that fucking solo. But the riff will live on to this day. I love the use of the diminished triad and just the tritone and everything. It's just such a cool song, and the riff is amazing. You know, rest in peace, Jimmy. Thank you for writing that. But it was just such a blast to play, and it honestly changed the direction of my life from that moment on. Like walking into a dream, so alive to see, so much of it seems. God's been waiting for you all into this place, just giving you a small taste of your afterlife. You're so scared, you'll be back to soon. So here's one that's a little interesting. I remember at summer camp one year, one of my roommates was getting me into prog metal for the first time. You know, stuff like Periphery, Rush, and everything like that. Like, he threw on this track from Dream Theater. It was the first time I had heard Dream Theater in my life, and it was Fatal Tragedy off Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory, and I just... Yeah, so that's what I did. That was my exact reaction, was just at band camp in circa 2009, maybe? And ever since I heard that haunting riff, I knew I was going to be a Dream Theater fan forever.
I shut the door and traveled to another home. I met an older man, he seemed to be alone. I felt that I could trust him, could talk to me that night.
Now this riff has to be on the top 5 of most guitarists. And that definitely has to be Enter Sandman, because, come on, you hear that freaking riff, it's nasty, and then Hatfield comes in, it is just such a badass song, and I remember jamming out to that with my buddy Johnny for the first time, circa 2007, and we were like just having a sleepover. Things were great. He's like, hey, have you ever listened to Metallica? No, I don't think I have. Let's put it on. He throws that on. And I'm like, it was my true first taste of old school metal, and it was really cool. I love the groove behind it, and I love how hard Lars is slamming on it. It's just such a cool song to play. It's just too much fun. And that riff specifically got me into Metallica. Like, I don't think I'd be the musician I am without that song. And then finally, this one actually holds a very special place in my heart because it was the first time that I had played in a band. Like, sure, it was a talent show. It was the shitty 8th grade talent show, so 2008. But it was the first time I really felt like some sort of rock star. I was bullied all through middle school, and you know, the only solace I found was through playing music. And these guys that I had been kind of friends with on and off for years, you know, they invited me to play this talent show because they knew I loved guitar, that I was kind of a punk, and I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. We decided on Alive by Pearl Jam and Holiday by Green Day, and I just remember playing that song to open up the talent show. Oh my God, everyone loved us. It felt so cool. That was probably the moment I knew I wanted to be on stage for the rest of my life. That was the moment I knew I had to do whatever it took to get back on stage, to make sure that this is my life. Holiday was the first real rock band performance I had ever had, and I just was elated to do it. Well, that's it. Drop which one's your favorite down below. This was a lot of fun to make and to look back on my own life and to think about. It was really cool, and I'm sorry this isn't in the typical setup. Moving right now, so I'm trying to get everything going. Drop some suggestions on what you want down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. As always, my name is Matt Erickson. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you at the next video.